Show on a Monday, as promised. Paul Thorp joins us, former Baylor baseball pitcher. And number one, welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here on a Monday morning. And then with Baylor alumni for how long?
August 13th would have been 13 years.
Wow, 13 years. Okay. And as of, 1 week ago today, introduced as the new executive director of the B Association, the Letter Winners Association at Baylor. Congratulations on that. I think a great choice. And how's the first week been for you?
It's been exciting.
Yeah.
It's been learning a lot and moving forward with we got a football game coming up in Atlanta and then at home. So there's a lot of moving parts that we're learning about.
Yep. You follow David Wetzel, who's back in coaching, and happy for him. You know, sad to see him go, but happy for him. And David followed Walter Abercrombie, and that's really the list of executive directors. I mean, Dutch Schrader did so many things for so many years, but he was really a volunteer, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. So you're right. It was Wetzel and Walter before that, but Dutch was here, and I think he was very instrumental in getting this thing started. Yeah. It was a big piece of it, making it happen. Yeah. So again, learning a lot of that stuff as I move forward.
Dutch was very what's the right word? He was. I mean, this was his passion, wasn't it? And he just made it. He really made the B Association.
He did, and he was such an amazing person. He knew everybody. It's like every sport, every position. It's like he knew everything. Yeah. I remember one of the last times I saw him was at one of the golf tournaments, and it was years after I was done playing. And he's like, "Mr. Thorpe," he's like, poking me in my belly. He's like, "Well, you're too fat to pitch." I was like, "Thanks, Dutch."
Yeah, thanks.
Good to see you too this morning.
But that's him. So great legacy there in the B Association. And do you feel like, you're a letter winner, you played baseball here, that certainly qualifies you for the B Association, but it's baseball. Now you got to kind of wrap your arms around all the sports.
I do. And that's one of the most exciting aspects, I think, for me, is I get, I want to include everyone, all 19 sports. There's not going to be, too much of an emphasis on one sport over the other. We know what football means. We know what basketball means, but bringing everybody together, especially soccer, volleyball, some of the women's sports, getting them more involved.
And I think a few years ago we made the conscious move, instead of saying Lettermen's Association, to Letter Winners Association, right? To make sure that all of our women's sports letter winners are included.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's it. Everybody.
We
want it's letter winners. It's not just lettermen.
Right. So what's the priority list? What's your to-do list?
So, with the position being empty for a while, and then Kendall, who was great, left. So she was out for, I don't know, maybe 2.5 weeks before I left. So I had a legal pad full of voicemails and calls and information of people who've called asking for questions. So working through that, working on lining up some legends for this football year. That's going to be a little abbreviated because it is short notice, but we will have some of those. What else? Atlanta's on the doorstep. Right. Big game out there. Some events going on out there, and then obviously back at home for the first football game with a brand new lounge. It's been renovated. Yeah. And, fingers crossed, the completion date is September 4th. But it will be functional, but we're working on getting the last graphics installed now.
That's good. So, explain to our viewers who may have never been in there what the Letter Winners Lounge there at McLean Stadium, what that's like on a football game day.
Yeah, so I'll be candid. I've been in my own little world pre-game for the last 12 years or so. So I've only been in there once, and when I was in there was about 350 to 400 letter winners and family members and guests. And so it's going to be crowded. It's going to be a hopping place, and come network. Everybody, any sport's welcome. Come on.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's a great connection point location. If you're texting or emailing somebody, hey, I'll see you at the game. Where are we going to meet? How about the Letter Winners Lounge?
Come on.
That'd be great.
Yes.
And don't you think the events that you have planned and hosted with Baylor alumni the last few years, Don't you think that is a real plus now moving into this position?
Yeah, working, being able to work with Walter and Tammy and being able to work with David and Kendall very closely is definitely an advantage. Stepping into this position, having a little bit of an idea of what's at least required is huge. I mean, I not new. I knew that tailgates were coming, lounge was coming, football's coming, and so yeah, a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's very good. You're leaving Doug Furch, who you worked with for all of those 13 years. Tess Jamerson is over there also. And y'all did such a great job. I was fortunate to be able to work with you on a number of events, most recently the Texas Tour with Coach Aranda last month.
Yeah, no, and thank you for everything you do. You keep us afloat, especially on the stage.
I'm glad to be there,
Yeah, no, we had 2 great events with Coach Aranda in Dallas and in Houston. Tried to shift to more family events this year, a little bit different format, and I think it was received well.
Yeah.
That's I guess you can give kind of some credit to Toby Barnett and Doug Furch. They had this vision, and we're trying to move forward with the families and not just singles. So
yeah, explain that. Some people watching may have been to one or both of those, one in Dallas, one in Houston. Different format, but I thought it worked really well.
It did. I was, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit of the devil's advocate there. It's like, man, July 7th outside in Dallas, I'm like, it's gonna be hot, but it worked out great, and I think everybody had a blast. There was nothing but good things to say about food, atmosphere, program, information, having access to some of the student athletes, having access to all the coaches and admin that were there. So, I mean, Coach Aranda was amazing. I mean, he walked in and there was a couple sitting there and he just pulled up a chair and sat there and just talked with them.
Wasn't that great?
Yeah. And Doug too, McNamee, he's great with everybody. I mean, I think they touched everybody in the room.
Yeah. So the one in Dallas, it was around Big 12 football media days, and we had the advantage of having 6 players there.
Yep.
So that was cool to have them there, taking pictures, signing autographs.
Yeah, and they got to play a little putt-putt with some of the families.
Yes.
By themselves. So yeah, no, just the interaction with the student athletes is kind of new from what we've done in the past, and I think a lot of the fans want to get to know them a little better.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Then the one in Houston was July 20th, and that was at the Rustic in Houston, right off 610. And that was in conjunction sort of with the High School Coaches Association meeting down there. So it was fun. We had Coach Aranda, we had Coach Spavital and Coach Clanderman, the offensive and defensive coordinators, all up on the stage together. That worked out really well to have those 3 together.
It did. They fed off each other well. You knew they would. They spend all their time together anyway. So.
Right.
No, and I like it that you're able to ask a question about the offense to Spav, and then Aranda can come right behind him and say, yes, that's what we're working on. That's what we're striving for.
Right.
And same thing on the defense. And I think Joe being new, that was kind of the first time I got to meet him, and he's a really cool guy.
He is.
Yeah,
he's very good.
Yes. Yep.
All right, so those were your events, your final events, really, with Baylor alumni engagement, and now into this realm with the B Association. But you'll do similar events like this now.
Yeah, I'm hoping to. I want to bring them together more, even outside of Wake or outside of Baylor sporting events. Try to, and this is down the road, but working on possibly doing stuff in some of the bigger cities with all of our letter winners together.
Yeah. That's a great plan. I guarantee you'll hear from, and maybe you have already, Robin Jones, the big cat.
Yes, Robin.
Because
I haven't heard from him yet.
Okay,
yes, I
listen.
will. Yes.
Remember this. I promise you'll hear from him because he's kind of a ringleader. If you need somebody to kind of gather the troops, Robin is very much a ringleader, and he's very into the B Association. Very proud of his playing days here. So he'll be one of those guys that'll be, full dive in both feet, with you.
We worked with Robin for a few years with around the spring game and some of the activities there. So we've got a good working relationship. So we're ready to continue that.
You talked about renovation of the B Association Lounge at McLean. What are the changes? What's that going to look like, or do we want to keep that undercover?
You'll just have to come see it, but it's just a refresh.
Gotcha.
Really. Some new graphics, a little brighter. We're maybe a little bit lighting stuff. But just a refresh in general.
It's a great room. It's a great space.
We're not trying to change the history or
Right.
the significance of some of the lists and people that are on the walls. That's not changing. Just refreshing.
One of the cool things there is that interactive kiosk, which you could go in if you played soccer here in 1998, Big 12 champs, by the way.
Yeah.
You could come in, you could type that in, you could find your team picture, probably some pictures from that year. It's got some really, really cool aspects to it.
I'm gonna have to play with that.
Yeah.
It's on the list. It says kiosks and the software. And I'm like, what's that?
How long is that list for you right now?
Oh, it's up there.
I bet that's right.
We're working through it day by day, and we're going to be ready.
Yeah. Well, so great to have you full-time in athletics, and just look forward to working with you as we've worked together, doing a lot of events through the years, but now you're right there in athletics, and I think it's great.
Thank you.
Very cool.
So excited.
Good. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
Paul Thorp, new